This is gonna blow your mind. Why are there not more people talking about this? Clean water, affordable healthcare. These aren't luxuries, people, they're the bare minimum. And yet, here we are, in the supposed future, and our government can't even seem to get these right. It's enough to make you wonder, what are they doing with all our money? And more importantly, what else are they messing up? This isn't about left versus right, folks. This is about right versus wrong. It's about a government that's supposed to serve the people, not the other way around. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the murky waters of government incompetence and secrecy. And trust me, it ain't pretty. Remember Flint, Michigan? The city that became synonymous with one of the worst public health crises in recent history? Yeah, that's what happens when you cut corners and put profits over people. Decisions made in boardrooms far removed from the communities they impact. Lead in the water, poisoning kids, and for what? For the sake of saving a few dollars, entire generations are being put at risk. The health implications are staggering, affecting not just physical well-being, but also cognitive development. To save a few bucks, it's a disgrace. Families are left to fend for themselves, often having to choose between buying bottled water or paying for other essentials. The financial strain is immense, and the emotional toll is even greater, and it's not just Flint. Across the country, our water systems are crumbling. Cities from coast to coast are facing similar issues, with aging infrastructure that hasn't been updated in decades. Pipes are leaking, treatment plants are outdated, and nobody seems to be in a hurry to fix it. The problem is systemic, and the solutions require more than just a quick patch job. We're playing Russian roulette with our health every time we turn on the tap. The water that should be a source of life has become a potential hazard. We're told to trust the experts, but how can we, when the experts are telling us everything is fine, while our kids are getting sick? The disconnect between official statements and lived experiences is alarming. Something stinks worse than that Flint River water, and it's the stench of government inaction. It's time for accountability and real solutions. Our health, our children's futures, and our communities depend on it. Let's talk about healthcare, or the lack thereof. Millions of Americans are still uninsured, and even those with insurance are getting crushed by sky-high costs. Deductibles, copays, premiums, it's enough to make your head spin. We're told it's the best healthcare system in the world, but that's a joke, right? People are going bankrupt over medical bills. They're rationing their medication because they can't afford it. They're dying because they can't get the care they need. Meanwhile, the insurance companies are raking in record profits. The pharmaceutical companies are charging whatever they want for life-saving drugs. And our elected officials, they're too busy cashing checks from lobbyists to actually fix the problem. So yeah, you can forgive us if we're a little skeptical when the government tells us something is for our own good. They've broken our trust time and time again. They promise the world and deliver a bucket of warm spit. We're told to trust the system, but the system is rigged. It's rigged against the working class, the poor, the sick, the elderly. It's rigged in favor of the wealthy, the powerful, the connected. And the worst part is, they think we're stupid. They think we won't notice. They think we'll just keep our heads down and keep playing their game. Well, I've got news for them. We're not stupid, and we're not playing anymore. Section 5, black budgets, black holes. Now let's talk about the really scary stuff, black budgets. These are the hidden financial plans that fund some of the most secretive government operations. These are the government programs so secret, so hush-hush, that even Congress doesn't know what they're spending our money on. Imagine the frustration of elected officials, tasked with oversight, yet kept in the dark. Billions, maybe trillions of dollars, disappearing into a black hole of secrecy. What are they hiding? New weapons? Secret surveillance programs? The possibilities are endless and terrifying. Alien contact, advanced technologies, who knows? And that's the problem. The lack of transparency breeds speculation and mistrust. When there's no transparency, there's no accountability. Citizens are left in the dark, unable to hold their government responsible for its actions. And when there's no accountability, anything goes. Mismanagement, corruption, and waste can flourish unchecked. Look, I'm not saying the government shouldn't have secrets. Certain information must be protected for the sake of national security. Of course, there are things they need to keep under wraps for national security reasons, but there must be a balance. But when it comes to spending our money, we deserve to know where it's going. Taxpayers have a right to understand how their hard-earned dollars are being utilized. We deserve to know what's being done in our name. Transparency is not just a buzzword, it's a fundamental principle of democracy. Without it, trust erodes, and the very fabric of our society is at risk. Section 6. The price of influence. In this section, we delve into the murky waters of political influence and the staggering cost it imposes on our democracy. Here's a dirty little secret. Our government is for sale. Yes, you heard that right. The very institutions meant to serve the public are often swayed by the highest bidder. That's right, folks, the highest bidder gets the best representation. It's an auction where the wealthy and powerful secure their interests, leaving the average citizen in the dust. Lobbyists wine and dine our elected officials, showering them with campaign contributions and promises of lucrative jobs after they leave office. These backroom deals and cozy relationships often lead to policies that favor the few over the many. And what do we get in return? We get a government that is increasingly out of touch with the needs and concerns of ordinary people. Policies that benefit the wealthy and powerful at the expense of everyone else. The middle class is squeezed and the poor are left to fend for themselves. Tax breaks for corporations that don't need them. These tax breaks are often justified as necessary for economic growth, but in reality, they widen the gap between the rich and the poor. Deregulation that puts our health and safety at risk. Environmental protections are rolled back, and worker safety standards are ignored, all in the name of profit. A system that's rigged from the top down. The rules are written by and for those at the top, making it nearly impossible for the rest of us to get ahead. It's time to get money out of politics. We need to demand transparency and accountability from our leaders. It's time to elect leaders who represent the people, not the special interests. We need candidates who are committed to serving their constituents, not their campaign donors. It's time to take back our government and make it work for us, not against us. Together, we can create a system that truly represents the will of the people and ensures a fair and just society for all. Section 7. We need to see the receipts. Transparency. It's not a dirty word, folks. It's the foundation of a healthy democracy. We have a right to know what our government is doing, how it's spending our money, and who's influencing their decisions. We need to demand open records, public hearings, and independent oversight. We need to shine a light on the dark corners of government and expose the corruption that's festering there. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, as they say, and believe me, our government could use a good dose of sunshine. Section 8. Demand better, demand honesty. Look, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. The powers that be won't give up their power without a fight. But we can't afford to be apathetic. We can't afford to be cynical. We have to get involved, make our voices heard, and demand better from our leaders. Vote, protest, organize, hold your elected officials accountable. Don't let them get away with lies, half-truths, and empty promises. Demand honesty, integrity, and a government that works for the people. It's our country, damn it. Let's take it back. Section 9. It's our future, let's fight for it. This isn't just about us, folks. It's about our kids and grandkids. Do we want to leave them a world where clean water is a luxury? Where healthcare is a privilege? Where the government operates in secrecy and serves the interests of the few at the expense of the many? Hell no. We have to fight for a better future. We have to fight for a government that's accountable, transparent, and responsive to the needs of the people. We have to fight for a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. It's a fight worth having. It's a fight we can't afford to lose. Let's demand better governance and transparency. Let's do this.